Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, and welcome back to another battle within the UBL, where this week we're going up against Grandmaster D-Ray, coach of the San Diego Snugglers. If you haven't checked them out, definitely go do so. Link to his channel in the description down below. If you're kind of curious where we are this season, we're not doing too good. We're 1-3. Honestly, I'm still not too happy with how it has gone. I'm hoping we can pick it back up, and we'll see what goes from there. We just gotta take it one game at a time, you guys. Yeah, and that's about it. I'm not going to be putting any major props, any major conspiracy, any major talk into this. Like, look, actually speak loud and words at this point. We gotta get back into winning ways. We gotta get back up the table. We gotta be able to get into playoffs, and to do that, we need a good record. You guys get the drift here. Just taking it one game at a time, and we're going to see where it leads us. I think if we manage to pick up a win this week and next week, all of a sudden it's a totally different outlook going into the end of the season. But anyways, we're 1-3. That's all. That is the facts. We just got to bounce back. But anyways, D-Ray's team, as you can see right here for me now, consists of Dracovish, Zapdos, Gothitelle, Chandelure, Klefki, Roserade, Seismitoad, Zoroark, Chinchino, Hitmonchan, and Thwomp. D-Ray's got a couple of big threat. He's got one major threat, right? He's got the Dracovish. It's a massive threat. If you don't know it, it's absolutely bonkers. He gets the facetious friend that's able to come in, just smack everybody up, and then he's paired it off very nicely. He's got Zapdos, which is a very nice defensive pivot into most water types that would want to be able to deal with Dracovish, and that's also able to pivot around with Volswitch, which he hasn't brought the whole time, which I'm a little bit surprised with whenever I look at his watch his battles. He's also got the Gothitelle to be able to trap other mons that can kind of threaten his Dracovish, and then the rest of his team basically allow him to sponge different hits or be able to maneuver against the rest of his opponent's team. But if you're able to nerf or neuter the Dracovish, then you are one really good step away from being able to beat this team, because once you remove the Dracovish, then you're looking at Chandelure, Roserade. These are ones that do hit hard, but they can all be revenge killed. They could they can all be dealt with. You kind of see where I'm coming with here. It's a little bit easier to deal with those Pokemon. So that's why I'm thinking, you know what, if we can move around the Dracovish, then we're really set. And I think that's pretty much the case with any team that goes up against D-Ray. If you can pivot, if you can deal with the Dracovish, or you can play around it, you have a really good shot at getting in here. But we have to be very careful with the Gothitelle in our team. The Gothitelle is very, very problematic. It's a nuisance, but we'll just have to play by ear, see what happens throughout the match. But yeah, let's break it down what we're bringing and dissect what we're bringing this week. So the first one we're bringing is obviously going to be our Melodic. Rainbow the Melodic is coming this week, fully Fizz Def, but I've taken a slight little bit off the HP and defense just to make sure that we do not get spec prepped. He does have the ability to speak with me with Chandelure and a couple of other bits and pieces. I just didn't want that. I just figured it's not really worth it. He could have prepped me with the Seismitoad as well. Not worth it. Not really worth doing any of those things. So I figured no point really doing that. We'll just make sure that we got the we're not going to get spec prepped completely, and we have all the bulk we need to potentially deal with a Dracovish. What's really nice about this, my Melodic says that we will be able to determine what Dracovish is this week based on the damage we take. If he breaks us with huge damage, we know it's going to be banded. That becomes even though that's going to hit hard, it does mean that we will be able to constantly scare it out, which is nice. If he brings a Scarf set, Melodic will be able to deal with that a lot more comfortably. We'll be able to recover all that kind of good stuff. He's not going to be able to 2-hit KOs. He'd be a 3-hit KO. So that's very, very comfortable knowing that we can deal with that as well. So that's where we're at with that, and hopefully we'll be able to do the work. And of course we have Flip Turn to give us a bit of momentum and to stop Gothitelle trapping us and all that kind of nonsense. And Dragon Pulse to hit the Dracovish. Next up, I'm going with something a little bit different, and I was looking at D-Ray's team, and this set does work, and I figured we're bringing it because he hasn't got much that really wants to deal with this, and he's probably going to be trying to deal with Special Hydreigon all week, but we're going to be bringing a physical. We're bringing D-Dance, Throat Chop, Outrage, Earthquake. We need about 50% on the Seismitoad, and we need about, depending on the spread on the Zapdos, it could be either between 60 or even, we need either 40 or 30%. Purely depends on the spread. But once we get that chip done, and we have to also be careful of the Klefki, but once we get those kind of chips done, Hydreigon sweeps. Just downright sweeps. We just click one D-Dance and we wreck. Throw chop, wrecks Gothitelle. Earthquake wrecks the Klefki. Outrage hits everything else. Like, once we get through that mount, or once we're able to break through those mons, Hydreigon's like is just cause absolute havoc. And for me, that's all I really want to do. Just have Hydreigon cause absolute havoc and go from there. The big worry here this week for Hydreigon is Klefki. If Klefki is able to is some Magnerise shenanigans, we're going to get walled. That's just the fact of it. And we don't really have the fire coverage to be able to hit Klefki hard enough for me that I'm really comfortable with. So we're going out with the EQ. But if he's not Magnet Rise, or we can get him weak enough for a throw chop, that's we're in good business then. Especially considering I'm expecting him to be special defensive, right? I reckon Zapdos will be Fizz Def, and Klefki is going to be special defensive to deal with the flash cannons, deal with the fire blasts, and all that kind of good stuff. And I'd be expecting him to be a bit more wary about the fire type move rather than the ground type move. So we'll see how it goes. But I do think if we can position Hydreigon in the right position, we're going to be able to not just cause havoc on his team, but really put dents into it. And I think if D-Ray panics and doesn't play against Hydreigon properly, we're fine. We should be able to beat him. So we'll see what happens. Depending on what happens throughout the battle, and depending on how D-Ray deals with us, will have a huge bearing on how this goes. Next up, we're bringing Bellator, our Bronzong, bringing full Fizz Def this week. Not too crazy, not too maddening. I just need something that can come in on Seismitoad. That's really it. I was originally going with Leafeon with the Wish Baton Pass, but we just need a little bit extra here at Bronzong. I know this thing can be trapped by Gothitelle. You don't get me wrong. I think this thing most definitely can be trapped by Gothitelle. But if I could bait in the Seismitoad and go for the Grass Knot, or just get a Toxic on it, this is fantastic, right? Because I just need Toad down to 50%, and then Fizz Def Toad does not become an issue for my Hydreigon. That's beautiful. And if I can get Gothitelle weakened, that's fine. Even though we have a little bit problematic seeing Cosmic Power kind of shenanigans, look, he won't be able to kind of deal with Hydreigon with a Cosmic Power set or a Calm Mind set. So I think we should be kind of okay if I can just come in, Stealth Rock, Toxic, just get the chip down. We will eventually be able to wear down Gothitelle to the point where it'll go down to the Toxic damage, or it'll go down to one hit from Nidoking or something like that. So really happy with that. I think Bronzong will be able to do the work, and if we could just manage to remove the Gothitelle, that's one mon that we do not have to worry about for the rest of the game. And I think he will need to preserve the Gothitelle, so we should be fine. Next up, we're bringing Clutch, our Nidoking. This is going to be our wall breaker again this week, and this thing just does work. Ice Beam, Earth Power, Flamethrower, and Shadow Ball is the coverage we need. Ice Beam for the Zapdos, Earth Power for Chandelure, Klefki, Roserade. It just does so much. It's able to hit a lot on his team. And I kind of figured it does more than Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave, isn't going to be able to work out for us overly well this week, so we need to be able to deal with that. So I figure, and we also need Shadow Ball for the Gothitelle, so I figure we bring Shadow Ball over the Sludge Wave and we should be fine. And then Flamethrower then is for the Klefki. So when I know Klefki is going to be maybe Magnerise shenanigans, we're just going to go Flamethrower. It's going to be the safest move, and we can be able to go around and pivot from there, and we should be fine. Next up, we have Licky, and this is going to be our Spadef wall, purely for Chandelure, maybe for Roserade as well, depending on what he brings. We're just going to have to be able to, we have to know what this thing is going to be there for as we play around it. Knock Off, Wish, Protect, and Power Up is the moveset. I feel like if he's going into this early game, he's going to want to be bringing a Toad in on this. If I can just get Power Whip off, this is great. Wish, Protect, just be able to keep my team healthy as long as possible. And we do have the Shells, so if he brings in Gothitelle, and obviously Gothitelle's going to be a big nuisance, but if he brings in Gothitelle on us and traps us, I can Wish, I can go for the and then we can just pivot around, maybe go into the Hydreigon, maybe go into something else. We'd be able to kind of see how we are depending on the at what point in the battle we're at, and I think that is pretty slick. And the last one is we're bringing Tapu Koko, Choice Scarf this week. U-Turn, Grass Knot, Brave Bird, and Thunderbolt is the moveset. U-Turn just is able to pivot around so much on his team, which is really nice. Grass Knot for the Seismitoad, Brave Bird for Roserade, Thunderbolt, just getting pure damage off on that Dracovish, and being able to get damage off on the Zapdos as well. I do need to run Scarf this week, because if he runs Scarf Dracovish, I need a way to be able to revenge kill that and we need Coco then to be Choice Scarf then to make sure we always guarantee a revenge kill. And if it's also able to revenge kill like Scarf Rosemary, Scarf Chandelure, a couple of bits and pieces like that, which are very, very important. So I figured there's absolutely no point in doing anything too crazy here. Let's just bring the Choice Scarf and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think I'm quite happy with this team, but there's still threats that we need to be able to like deal with as the game goes on. If it brings the Zoroark, if it brings the Chinchino, we're going to have to be able to suss out what we're doing with that. If it brings Chandelure and Roserade, we'll have to see what we're going to do there as well, because that's a quite scary combination. So depending on what he brings, we have to decide early in the game what we're going to war with those particular Pokemon first and deal with it after that. And that's our best way of being able to deal with D-Ray's team. There's no way we're going to be able to deal with everything, and especially with Dracovish demanding so much attention, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's the team, you guys. Let's get on up into the battle. And here we are, guys, in the battle. As you can see on the screen, he has brought Zoroark, Toad, Zapdos, Dracovish, Gothitelle, and the Klefki. I pretty much figured he was going to bring 5 out of those 6. I didn't know about the Zoroark or not. Zoroark is going to be a bit of a nuisance, right? There's just no denying it. Until we can get that removed or suss it out, we won't really know what's happening there, because the disguise is going to be throwing us continuously. With that in mind, I'm not really comfortable leading with my Bronzong then, because I just don't know if this is going to be Toad or not every single time. So until I know that, it's going to be a little bit confusing. I am going to leave with my Lickilicky here. I feel like Lickilicky, at least would be able to get a knockoff off whatever if he leaves with a Zoroark, if he leaves with a Zapdos, or if he leaves with the Toad. If he leaves with the Toad, I can just go Power Whip or knockoff or what have you, and I can see what we're doing. It kind of gives me that nice little middle ground where, like, if he goes into something that could potentially be Zoroark, I'll be able to kind of pivot around it. If he leaves with the Goth, like, we're stuck, but it's not the end of the world. Like, we have the Shed Shell, we can pivot, we can go into Bronzong, Toxic, Stealth Rock, all that kind of good stuff. So I think Lickilicky is probably our nice middle ground play, but we'll see. Anyways, good luck, have fun, D-Ray, and hopefully we can pick up the W, the much needed W this week. So let's see how we get on and go from there. He is going to lead with his Seismitoad. Cool with that, cool with that, cool with that, cool with that. He might just want to get rocks off here. If he does, then I am kind of going to go into Bronzong then straight after. So I am just going to go for the knockoff. If it goes hard into the Gothitelle, so be it. We'll be able to kind of see what's going on. He does just go straight for the rocks. I'm going to see how much damage we're going to be doing here to this Toad. And just get an idea what we're looking at here. Knockoff did about roughly the damage for it to be Fizz Def. So I know he's Fizz Def. That's kind of cool with me. I am going to go right onto my Bronzong here. I'm not going to be sticking around. I know the Toad is rocks. I know he's Fizz Def. And I know he's no item. As he elected to stay in there. Did he go for the Toxic? He did go for Toxic. So he's rocks, Toxic. That's cool. We're going to get our lefties off here. Now he can go for the knockoff here. I am going to go Toxic. If he goes into Goth here, he goes into Goth. We will be able to like Toxic stall that, get rocks and all that kind of stuff. If it goes for knockoff, we'll be able to eat that. That's fine. If he he won't be able to go for Earth Power or anything like that. We'll be able to kind of see what this Toad wants to do at this point. If he's special, if he's physical. We know half his moveset. He's not going to be able to get passive recovery for the rest of the game, so just a little bit more chip will mean that Hydreigon's going to be able to sweep it. So I'm happy enough with how this has kind of gone on so far. Klefki is still a mystery. If we can figure out what that Klefki is, beautiful. He is going to withdraw, hopefully, into the Goth. QB1 is the Dracovish. That's interesting. That's interesting. We are just going to get our Toxic off right here. That's fine. Okay. Now, he's brought this in. Real aggressive. If he's choice banned, he can kill me. He can kill me. Oh, sorry, no, he has to be Jolly this week, right? To outspeed. So there's a potential for him to kill me. I could go Gyro Ball here and get a little bit of damage off. I could go Rocks. I don't really want to lose this thing just yet. Well, it's not the end of the world if I do, because I have my logic for the Toad, and I know what that Toad wants to do. I wouldn't mind going for the Stealth Rocks here. We're going for the Gyro. If he's Choice Scarf, Gyro Ball will do a ton. Rocks. I think we go for rocks. If this, I want to see if this thing is banded or scarfed. So I'm going to go for the. Going to go for it. He does go for the Facetious Rend. And I now know he's scarfed. I now know he is not banded. I now know he's not banded. Good to know. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I got this thing toxic, and I got my rocks off. That's pretty slick. Got a little bit of chip off. Now I don't know what this thing is. I know he's not choice, what have you. Oh, fuck's sake. Right, we'll be back. We'll be back. Alright guys, welcome back. We got the battle pretty much recreated as much as we possibly can. Look, I'm in a situation, I know this thing isn't banded. I'm just going to bring in my Melodic, and I'm going to allow him to maybe go for another Facetious Rend. If he makes a switch, whatever, that's fine. But we're here, I have a big threat in front of me. He's actually going to make the double there, and he's going to bring in his Tesla, that's his Zapdos. I'm cool with that. That's a decent enough read by him. You see now, he kind of knows now that, you know, I was going to make the switch. What I'm going to do here, guys, I'm just basically going to look at how much am I doing, how much is this thing going to be doing to me with a Thunderbolt or Volt Switch. If he's Thunder, he's a bit of an issue. Volt Switch would take it about 60, not 60, about 55%. Thunderbolt, and we have a quick look. I want to be able to see. Can I just get Thunderbolt on this? Yeah, thank you, on my calc. Thank you very much. I think we can live any hit here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click the recover. If he goes for the Volt Switch, I want to force him into something that he doesn't want to be in. Like I want him to make the play to go into like the Toad or something. He does go for the Hurricane. We should be able to eat that up. And as I get my recover off, that's fine. That's fine. I now know at least this is Hurricane. He did around 45%, so that leads me to think that this thing is actually quite offensive. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I could go flip turn here. Again, I'm just going to click Toxic. I want to see if he's like a Scarf or a Spec set. If he's going to stay in here, then I'm like, oh no, he's not. Okay. He's T-Bolt now. We're going to take that hit again. I'm just going to click recover. This is just basically allowing me to scout what this thing wants to do to me, right? I just want to scout. I want to know what he wants to do. Figure it out from there. Now that I have an idea, okay, he's offensive. If he's carrying T-Bolt, I don't know if he's going to be carrying another move. So what I'm thinking we do is, I think we can go out into Chef. I think we can go out into Chef here and just see what happens. I kind of have an idea what he's wanting to do. If he goes for Volt Switch, so be it, like, you know, but I didn't want to allow him to click multiple moves there and, you know, basically get a free pivot on us, like, you know. If he goes for Volt Switch, he goes for it. Let's see what he does. He does go Hurricane here. He does land. He lands 2 Hurricanes, which I'm like, alright, okay, son. Fair enough. I am going to Wish. I'm just going to Wish Protect here. If he goes into Gothitelle, he goes into Gothitelle. I'm cool with that. If he goes into... He does go Volt Switch now. Okay. So this is kind of... This is somewhat kind of classic Zapdos you would see knocking around ladder there. Don't know, his fourth move probably will be Roost. Okay, but I know he's offensive, right? I know he's on non-choice. Might be heavy duty boost because there's no life orb, right? So I'm just going to go not choice. I'm just going to write this all down. I'm just going to make a note to say he might be heavy duty boots, which is fine. He might want to come into Dracovish here, which I'm like, okay, that's fine. You're going to come in, you're going to take rocks. I'm going to be able to like just click protect. I'm just going to be able to get my wish back up, and we're going to be able to go from there. If he goes into Gothitelle, that's fine. It goes out into this, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with. All right. I know he hasn't got his lefties. Oh no, hold on. That is Zorak. That is Zorak because I know this thing's Zorak because we had the Seismic Toad already weakened. So I know you're Zorak. I know what you want to do to me, son. Part of me wouldn't mind just switching into my Coco here because actually no, we protect. We just click protect. I know this thing's a Zorak. I ain't going to do anything too crazy. Just click protect. I want to see if he's physical or special Zorak, but I know he's Zorak because the Toad already took damage. He already took knockoff damage. So I'm like, whatevs. Right, okay, he's nasty called Zorak. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. He's NP. We're just gonna go, you know, click protect. Gonna get our wish come through. I'm going to click knockoff. Get rid of this, guys. I know he's I know what he is now. I'm not afraid because I have the Coco in the back, right? I have Coco in the back. I just need to get chip on this thing. Zorak, let me just see how much I need to do here to make sure that my Coco can kill. Whether it be with Thunderbolt or not. Let me just see how much do I want. A Thunderbolt kills, like, regardless. So, like, that's fine. It's fine. I can't go into a Sludge Bomb, so I am going to basically just have to take the hits here and go from that. But T-Bolt's going to kill. U-turn will do him with 70%. He does go for the Focus Blast. He's hit all his moves, which is a little bit disgusting. A little bit disgusting, if I do say so. A little bit disgusting. I'm not a big fan of the fact that he's able to hit basically every single move that he's just wanted to hit. So I'm like, seriously, mate, we're okay. If we're doing that, fair enough. If we're doing that, fair enough. He has the chip that on it already, so I'm just like, whatever. If he goes out into the, I don't really want him to go into Toad here. I kind of just want to click U-turn, so I am going to click U-turn. If he stays in, then he is brave, right? I'm just clicking U-turn. I know he pivots, right? He has to pivot here. Losing Licky like that is problematic, but Licky was kind of there to look, at least scout what this Zero Aura is. At least I know what this thing is want to do. I want to see what it goes for here. I'm just going to go U-turn. I got nothing else that I can really do here other than click U-turn. Because he's going to withdraw his Slicer Toad and go into his own Slicer Toad. Yeah, there we go. Right, that's fine. I ain't going to make that read just yet. I'm not at the point where I can comfortably go for that read and pick up the kill. I'm just going to go for the U-turn. Get the little bit of chip. That's enough chip for me. Honestly, that's enough chip for me. We just go out into our Bronzong, I'm pretty sure. Or we can go out into Clutch, but I think Bronzong is the middle ground play here, so I'm just going to do that. I think that's better. As Rocks will obviously dig into us. He might want to go knock off here. If he has it, he'll go for it. I'm going to go for the Gyro Ball though. This thing is within range, right, where I'm quite happy with it. The Zapdos being offensive, I know my Hydreigon can one-shot out with the Outrage. The Klefki, I just don't know about. He hasn't got the knockoff, right? He has Scald. This thing should be dead now, right? This thing should be dead. Almost. But he's special, right? Rather than something else he's special. So I'm okay with that. I'm going to go out into Milotic here. Milotic could be area up a Scald. I can keep my Bronzong on the back then for later on when the Zorak eventually comes back in. I can just sack the Bronzong to get my Coco back in. And I think that's better. And with this Toad out of the way, then T-Bolt just becomes so free. So I'm like, let's just do that. I think that's just a better overall play for us. We eat that up. That's beautiful. I think we just go for the recovery here. He might want to switch into his Zapdos. If he does, do I want to click Toxic here on the Zapdos? On the incoming Zapdos, do I want to click Toxic, or does he let this thing go down? I'm going to click Recover. If he stays in and allows me to take this thing, whatever. I'm going to go up to max HP. He's going to draw that, and he's going to go into Jailbreak. His Clef. Cool. Alright. Cool beans. Cool. Take a little bit of damage there. I'm just going to get my recovery back up. I want to see what he wants to go for. If he spikes, right? That is what it is, right? But I'm just going to go for the flip turn here. I want to see what he wants to do. It's really flip turn. And see what he goes for. He goes for the light screen. All right. Cool. So I use screens. Are you screens, Stefki? Are you screens? Because if you are, that could be something. That could be something. We're going to go into Tornado King here. So he's light screen. I want to see, do we see lefties on this thing at the moment? Do I see lefties on you? I do not. Okay, so no lefties. I am going to click Shadow Ball here, predicting the Goth, right? Because I think he does switch into Goth and tries to trap me here. He is going to bring the totally. He's going to sack this thing. Okay. Alright. Okay. So, this thing dead. See, I just don't get why Goth isn't the brain there, but it is what it is. The Klefki is, I now know he's not lefties, he's light screen, so he might be just light screen, reflect, draining kiss, something else for my Hydreigon. If he is, that's what he is, right? Okay, that definitely puts a slowdown on my Hydreigon sweep later in the game, but that's all right. Size-Toad's gone now though, so that's fine. Let me just jot that down for reference. Perfect. Don't know what the Gothitelle is. I know the Zoroark is Nasty Plot, Focus Blast. I know that much. Don't know about item. He's on 88% because he took rocks damage. Dracovish, I know is toxic. And he is on. See, I'm taking note of the damage here, guys, because Zoroark can disguise himself several times. He took 6 and 12, so he took 18%. In comes the Gothitelle. I was expecting that. And this is the Gothitelle. We have to stay in here, right? We're stuck. I'm just gonna break through this thing, right? Click Shadow Ball. I'm going to make him like try and be. I'm going to make him try to kill me first time of asking. That's a big hit. I like that damage. Goes to the Calm Mind. Cool. I'm alright with that. I'm alright with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because you have no way of being able to heal yourself here. So I'm like, okay. Goth is CM. I see lefties on it. It's fine. We're just going to go Shadow Ball again. Let him keep doing it, The Draco, we'll see another Shadow Ball here. Was it 6, 12, 18, so he's on like 72, he's on 82%. There you go, perfect. There's a Side Shock. Cool. Cool. Now, Gothitelle. Let me see, he's max for his depth. Does my Coco kill it with a... Does my Coco kill it with a U-turn? It does not. So we have to go out into my Hydreigon. I have to reveal I'm physical at this point. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Now he might be thinking he's safe here, but it's further from the truth. I'm just going to take Throat Chop. Just going to take it. If he decides now it's time to switch and go to Clef Key, that's okay. That's okay. The question would be, can I go for EQ there? Maybe. Because I'd definitely be able to live the Lumberry Para. And at that point, we just have to play it by ear. We have to play it by ear. The Clef Key has no lefties, took rocks damage. So we have to wait and see. Okay. You get me the Goth. Right, Goth is gone. So that is Hydra, kill, and then Goth, Nido. Cool. So I'm after getting rid of the Toad, the Gothitelle. The Clef Key is still an issue for my Hydreigon, which is problematic, but Zapdos probably is not going to be able to one-hit KO my Hydreigon. So we will be able to get up in Outrage. D-Lance in front of it, and then click Outrage, which is great. Dracovish is probably Scarfed, which is fine. He does indeed go out into this thing, right? He does indeed go out into this thing. Let me have a look here. I can check. Is he still got his screen? He does. So he's probably like Clay. If I go to Clef Key, let me just say he's 252. Let's just say he's bold. Level 50. My EQ cannot kill here. My Earthquake cannot kill at this point. So we are switching, and we are switching out into Bronzong, I think. We are switching out. Yeah, we are most definitely switching out to Bronzong. We are switching out to Bronzong here. Yeah. That's the plan. That's the play. Now, obviously, like, we've lost a couple of bonds here, but you know I think we're still in a very good position. There's a Draining Kiss. I was fully expecting that. Draining Kiss. Now, T-Bolt is free across this whole team here, right? So I'm not overly worried. Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't overly worried. I am quite worried about it. I think we have to go out into Coco and T-Bolt a couple of times. I want to force him to do something. Yeah, I want to force him out here, or at least force him within range of my Hydreigon. That's the play here. I want to force him within range of my Hydreigon, and if we go down, we go down. But I just need him within range of my Hydreigon, so I'm just going to take T-Bolt, and then we have to play the end game of Clever by then. Clef got bronze on. Okay, I think we're alright. If we just click T-Bolt, we should be fine. I'd love if he went into something different here. I'd love it. Honestly, I'd love it, because if I get the +1, right, if he hasn't got the Magnetize, then we're good. But if I get the +1, we're fantastic. It's great. Now he's got the light screen up, right? So obviously we're not going to be doing too much. But that's the damage I need, right? That's the damage I need. We're just going to keep going with that damage. Just keep going with that damage. That obviously did it quite a bit, but that was a crit. Sucks. Oh, man, that most definitely sucked. How long is he's got one more. If we can live this next Draining Kiss, we're fine. But I'm going to take another T-Bolt. If we can get him within range of the EQ, then we're good. Good damage. Right, come on, live this one. Don't do me like that. Thank you. Now the next one should do big damage here. This one does big damage. No matter what happens, this is going to do big damage. We're in the terrain. The light screen is gone. Something is going to get absolutely smacked here. Right? If this Klefki goes down, and we're weak enough where the Klefki's not going to be able to recover here too much. So we're in decent shape here. Smart. But again, I'm still weak enough where this thing is going to get weakened even further. It's going to be down at half. Going to go for the Thunderbolt again. If he goes for the Reflect, that's the play I think he has to go for. Either he goes for Reflect, or he goes for the Reflect, or he goes for the Magnetize. If he has Magnetize, that's it's great play. Great play. We're going to go T-Bolt here, because I want him within range of Throat Chop. But we're not going to get that. We're not going to get that. Right. So we get Draining. So he gets the Draining Kiss. Draining Kiss is definitely going to. Draining Kiss is going to give him too much, right? So we have to go into our Hydreigon here. Draining Kiss will just give him way too much. Way too much. Right. So this is it, guys. Right. If he has the Magnetize here, it's GG's at this point. But if he doesn't, we're fine. I know he's like clay. So it's all about whether or not he has the Magnetize or not. If he brought it, nice play, but if he didn't, then he makes the switch. If he goes down to Zapdos, we should be able to just click D-Dance and see what happens. He's probably trying to figure out my Fire Blast or whatever. He's probably a little bit scared, because I did reveal the Throat Chop, but I haven't revealed if I'm mixed or something, so he doesn't know what my Hydreigon set is just yet. So we'll see what happens. He is going to withdraw. He's going to go out and yes. That's fine. I think that's fine. So we come into Zapdos. He is offensive. Hurricane. Question here, guys. Right? I have to click Outrage. That's the problem. I have to click Outrage. I could click D-Dance. Ooh. Monodic can win me this game, actually. If I click D-Dance, Monodic can win me this game. Yeah. Oh my god, he might have just gifted it to me. He might have just gifted it to me. Right there. Right there, because he didn't go for the offensive move. He may have just gifted that to me. Because my attention was there, right? If we go down, Melodic should be able to sponge hits, and he's so close to the timer. Like, we're fine. He's going to take the little bit of rocks damage. I'm going to D-Dance here. I'm now at +1. If he's Klefki, right? I think we just click EQ. We click EQ, and we just, yeah, because Throat Chop can... Throat Chop, it's a roll, right? Throat Chop will be a roll, but we click EQ. He's Reflect. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. So you go. So we're going to get this Klefki. This Klefki's going to be gone. Bye. Thank you. Klefki's gone. That is fantastic. Hydra picks up the win. Pick up the kill. Which is nice. Which is very, very nice. Zapdos. See, what does he bring in? Does he bring the Zoroark? Zapdos? Like, I just click Outrage. At any point here, I just click Outrage. He has to rely on the Zapdos landing a Hurricane, I think. He has to rely on that. Because I outspeed. So he has to rely on the Zapdos going for the Hurricane. Or for the landing the Hurricane. Because he has to reflect up. Outrage would be a 2-shot. And he has to land Hurricane. Now, I could be greedy. I could be very, very greedy. Or we just go Outrage. And see what happens. If he goes for any other move. Now he goes for the Dracovish, right? He goes for the Dracovish. He has to reflect up. He's at like, what, level 50? Yeah, we still kill Outrage. So I'm just going to click Outrage. I outspeed this thing, so I'll, like, Outrage is my play. And I just kill you. Yeah, down you go. So Hydreigon picks up that. Hydreigon picks that up. And then it's Zoroark after that, right? His Hurricane Team Volt Switch, like, if he misses the, and now I have the Lumberry, by the way, guys, if you remember from earlier on. So, like, if I take either a Para or a Confusion from the Zapdos, like, that's fine, like, you know, I'm okay with that. Like, I will, like, be at least be able to remove one of my statuses there. All depends what he goes for next. Goes out into Tesla, which we know is heavy duty boots at this point. He might go Roost, right? He might go Roost. I have to go for the Outrage, right? I'm locked in. So we'll see what happens. We're going to click it. If we get a crit, it's GG's. It does do 50% roughly, give or take. He is going to go for the Hurricane. He's landed all of his Hurricanes, by the way. Just want to take note of that. We do live, right? And I think that's fair because he's landed all of his Hurricanes. And we do get the third one. Because he's landed what? Three Hurricanes, 1 Focus Blast. So I'm like, dude, I'm due a miss there. Honestly, I'm due a miss. He's going to go for the T-Bow here though, because he has to guarantee that. Does he go Roost? Do you go Roost here, buddy? So I'm going to go for the Lumberry, just eat it off. Eat that Confusion off. He does go Volt Switch. He should have gone T-Bow. Like, I'm like, alright. Okay. Alright, okay. Does Zoroark win you the game, man? Can Zoroark 2-hit KO you? Or beat me? In comes the Zoroark here. Your light screen did finally wore off that turn. That's nice to know. That's nice to know. Right, okay. See, here's the thing. Can I get him to +1? Can I go to +1 here? Oh, sorry. Can I kill him here? How am I going to be able to kill this guy? That's what I'm really, really looking at. He's not Life Orb because we didn't see the damage earlier. So he's like, maybe Expert Belt or something. He's got Night Days, Focus Blast. He might do. I don't know just yet. If he goes to +2, how much he's doing to me? Doing about 50%. So I gotta go. Do I click Toxic and just spam Recover? I think I can click Toxic and just spam Recover, right? He's down on his timer, so I'm just gonna click Toxic and spam Recover. That's what I'm gonna do. Right, we're just gonna click Toxic and see what he wants to do. He gets the +2. If he goes to the Night Days, like, that will hurt, but we can just. I force him into kind of thinking about what he wants to do there. He has to. He will eventually. When he goes to the Night Days, he'll eventually have to get to +4, right? If he goes to +4 now, then we just, like, we have to go for the move after that. So I am just going to click Recover and see what he decides to do. This is where he has to make this big boy play. He goes for the Dark Pulse. Okay. I see how it is. See how it is, right? Okay. I ain't got no. Look, guys, you saw it yourself. You literally saw it yourself. He got the crit flinch, or not the. I can't remember if it was crit or not. He got the flinch when he needed the most. No, it wasn't a crit. He got the flinch when he needed the most. If I got the recover off, you know, he's on 30 seconds. You guys saw it. He was on 30 seconds left. He has to make a decision if he goes for the another one or not. Like he got a high roll. Like he honestly got a high roll because it does between 54 to 63%, and he got the flinch. If we recover there, he has to make the if we just keep spamming recover, we grind out that win on the timer, and then he hit all of his he hit all of his inaccurate moves. I can't help that. Like that happens. So look, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm going to chew on that and see how I am next week. That's where I'm at with that. Make sure you check out D-Ray's channel down below and all that kind of good stuff. I think we kind of played as relatively good as we could. I knew the goth was going to be an issue. I think we got rid of the threats when we did. We got Klefki low. I thought we got Hydreigon into position to win. The reflect was the key play for him to make sure we were going to be worn down, but we were still able to do the damage. Honestly, if Hurricane doesn't land on the Hydreigon, if any one of those Hurricanes don't land, we get enough chip to break Zapdos. Because we're able to stay in on Licky and go for the knockoff. We're able to the Focus Blast on Zorak, we get the knockoff, so that gets a bit more chip. All it takes for one of those moves not to land, and it's a slightly different game, but look, that's Mons, so you don't really want to see hacks like that, but I think it's harsh seeing all those moves land and not one of them go your way, and the flinch at the end is just seriously, but look, maybe it was just written down we're not supposed to win this game, but yeah. Anyways, definitely go check out D-Ray's battle and all that kind of good stuff. I'm gonna leave it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the battle. We'll be back next week and hopefully I can grab a W for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.